It was early morning on the island of Sodor. Some engines were still sleeping, some engines were just leaving, some engines were just returning, except James. He was showing off his red paint like always.
I'm the shiniest red engine on Sodor, the cleanest, newest paint and more.
James felt very proud of himself. Just then, he blinked, and when he opened his eyes, he saw the fat controller.
Hello, James. You'll be pleased to know there's a change today, and you'll be working at Whiff's waste dump, as Whiff popped a safety valve. You can start by bringing the truck full of rubbish that was empty to Whiff's waste dump. Scruff is going to help you.
Rubbish? Dirty? No way, sir. I'm not doing that. My job is pulling coaches, and that's why I always stay clean.
Then the fat controller told James to tell you what.
Tell you what, do your job properly and stay happy, and I'll reward you with a shiny red coat afterwards.
Yes, sir. I promise I'll do my job and be happy. These trucks are dirty, smelly, and I can't even breathe looking at them.
James was so angry and impatient, he didn't even couple up to his brake fan, which caused trouble when he arrived back. Gordon could not believe his eyes and nose when he saw James, and neither did the fat controller.
James, I've never seen you so dirty. Gordon's passengers are complaining that this is a bad railway. You'd better go to the washdown now, James.
James was actually planning to go to the steamworks instead of the washdown, so he can get a fresh coat of paint.
I know you're just going to go to the steamworks to get a shiny red coat instead.
Gordon, shut up! I hate you. Stop giving the fat controller my clue.
James puffed sadly to Victor, but Victor asked what was the kink, like he always does, and James told him all about what had happened in Withwaite's dump.
The fat-headed controller said I wasn't working with waste dump, so it's his fault I am dirty, and he told me to get a new coat of red paint if I did my job, and I did.
James was only being a smart aleck, but Victor believed him.
Don't worry, my friend. We'll get you some red paint.
Said friendly Victor.
Kevin! Oh shit, he's AFK. Oh well, I'll just get him myself.
Said friendly Victor, and he puffed away to ask the crewman for red paint. But when Victor returned, James saw his sad face and asked him why, but Victor explained that there was no red coat of paint. So the workman gave James blue paint, as his old paint was rotten after the rubbish, and it could rotted him, so they had to replace it for safety reasons. James didn't feel red, he felt blue, as he's embarrassed that he's not the shiniest engine on Sodor that stands out as red, and he was even too blue to talk. James puffed sadly to Tidmouth Sheds. He was trying his absolute best to get from the steamworks up to Tidmouth without being seen, but when he arrived in Knapford, there was lots of engines there, and the only way to get to his home was to pass. Charlie told a joke.
Hey, you fuckers! Stop working and listen to me for a second. What do you call a sad blue train? A train that goes blue!
Stanley and Rosie didn't like jokes. They wished Charlie worked. And since Charlie wasn't working, Rosie and Stanley had to do all the work shunting. James felt even more blue, so he took a big wheesh and whistled and tooted and puffed slowly to Tidmouth Sheds. But when he arrived at Tidmouth Sheds, his friends were laughing so badly.
It looks like you don't stand out anymore. Now Rosie does.
said Thomas cheekily.
I agree with my best friend Thomas.
Cheered Percy. Edward thought he saw himself.
Is there a mirror in front?
No, it's James. James the Blue Engine.
Agreed.
Said the bigger engine. James didn't want the engines to tease him all night, so he decided to puff the Nafford sheds, and he was hoping it was very quiet. But when he arrived, the shed was full of engines. James could not find a spare shed with no engines, so he puffed slowly into the spare berth, so no one could see him. I'm not blind. I can see you, James, said lazy Dennis. James didn't want Dennis to tell the other engines that he was blue, so he decided to puff away and hide. But that night, James ran away because he was so sad. He went slowly up Gordon's hill with the wet wheels, and the bit of dirt of the waste dump was slipping him back down, and he couldn't hold the weight of Gordon's hill. Suddenly, James was rolling down, and Diesel was coming up, and they crashed right into each other. Diesel thought it was Edward.
Edward, why did you do this? Now the diesel tank is spilled all over me, and I have to go to scrapyard now. Oh, it's you, James. You wanted me to be Edward, so you won't get in trouble. Huh, be lucky. I know what numbers are you. Or I am going to tell the Fat Controller this was your fault. Very good, James.
Just then, Emily came by. She was very cross after having a long sleep, and she has to rescue someone. And Rocky was also cross. It was Sodor Search and Rescue Centre's anniversary, and Rocky was a special member, and he loved it. And he was so angry he had to miss out for rescuing Diesel.
After all the excitement, now I have to waste my time on you, Diesel.
Said Rocky angrily.
For sakes, Rocky. Why is it my fault? It was an accident.
Because you deliberately caused James to crash. But I'm not sending you to the scrapyard this time, Diesel. I'm sending you to the diesel works.
Oh, thank you, sir, for not scrapping me.
Diesel had picked up the wrong thing what the Fat Controller said. And this is what he really meant.
To get crushed, of course.
A few days later, after James got repaired, he was called back to the scene where it says there was red paint. But he saw a queue of red engines because a lot of red paint came and a lot of engines want to use them. James thought that the red engines were using all the red paint, so James puffed angrily away. He thought he would never stand out as a red engine anymore. But James's friends arrived at Tismith Sheds, especially to tease him. First they told Edward, then they realised it was James.
Hello, ordinary engine that doesn't stand out.
Said Thomas cheekily, but Percy was cross. He wanted to tease James so bad that he'd get so embarrassed. But at least he got his wish.
James, an engine went to the mainland and got tons of red paint. That is why a lot of red engines were there. And there was so much you could get some. But there's a queue at the steamworks, so for now you'll have to stay blue, as Victor is busy.
The Fat Controller said those words too soon, and the other engines were teasing. Poor James had to stay blue for a few weeks. If he would have listened, none of this would have happened. Top of the morning, this is Ethan the Brown Tank Engine, and I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!